What up, it's your man Vinny, and we deep in the field. Yo, week 0 is here, and that means real football is here for the rest of the year till February. The preseason is cute, and it's cool to see spring games and to hear all this news, but now we are moving into the space where all the games count from the NFL to the collegiate level. And the college kickoff this week symbolizes that. Now, one thing I love about the college game is the traditions, the school spirit, the marching bands, the mascots, the rivalry games, Kirk Herbstreit, Heisman poses, and most of all, you guessed it, the damn uniforms. You see, colleges have the freedom to come with an array of uniforms for their respective teams, and sometimes it feels like there's no limit to them. And I'm a sucker for alternate looks and refreshed designs. So, as we do over here on Deep in the Field, we gonna keep it real and take a look at these collegiate uniforms and rank them. That's right. We're going to look at every college uniform in this 2024 season and rank them worst to best. Now, if you don't see a certain school on this list, then that's just because that school either isn't that big of a market yet, or the uniform change wasn't drastic enough to warrant a spot on this list. Besides, this list is long as hell as is, and I'm going to try to get through it as fast as I can. So without further ado, let's jump into it right now. Alright, so we'll be working in alphabetical order for the most part. So I don't need any grammar nerds or English alphabet thumpers in my comments saying I comes before P. You can kick rocks. But we're going to begin with Appalachian State, who immediately remind me of the Alabama State Hornets of the FCS SWAC conference, okay? It's not my favorite and very plain. With all the new technology out there, teams don't have to be so limited with their designs. And I'm not a fan of teams doing no stripes on the pants. If you do that, everything else has to. It got to stand out, and none of this does. It's nothing but an A on the helmet, an A on the jersey, and an A for average looking. Moving on. Now, Air Force did a crazy cool rollout of their new uniforms, which was very on brand. They got pictures of the players behind the wheel of the plane, players standing heroically looking like one of the Avengers or Captain America, and ultimately this uniform is dope, top to bottom. They got all the specific details like the combat control motto being on the front bumper of the helmet, the first there. On the back bumper, we got the first line of the Air Force Special Ops Command's motto, anywhere, any place, anytime. And these look good, any place, anywhere, anytime. But the selling point for me is the wing dagger decal on the helmet, which is a tough look, especially on that matte black finish. Then the uniforms have all the minor details like the dagger on the leg, the red accents, and even the red on the numbers. To be real, these kind of remind me of the Mean Machine uniforms in The Longest Yard with Adam Sandler. Y'all remember those? They sort of remind me of these, but much better, of course. Then we got Arizona, the Arizona Wildcats. Now, they popped out with a new look. The threads are cool, but the helmet is what stuck out to me the most. This is pretty. I mean pretty. The red script decal looks like candy, and the red chrome face mask complements it oh so well. I also like the stripes, which had that candy red color on it too. And again, when you just look at this, this is a very clean look for the Wildcats, and I think it's a great alternate from their base uniforms, which also look really good. It just got that great color combo that's hard to mess up, and they take full advantage of that. So this script right here with the cats, this is spot on. Whoever's idea this was, very clever, very nice. Baylor Bears are done with the days of the gold helmets and just that old set, which was very outdated. They got on all green, all black, all white, and all yellow, even though they probably argue and call it gold. But these are their options, and I'm sure that they'll mix and match a few of these throughout the season. But upon first glance, I'm not overly impressed. Now, honestly, I don't keep up with them as much. I really haven't followed them since the days of RG3 winning the Heisman. So yeah, it's been a little while. And although these are cool, they're cool. It's nothing more than that. I just feel like it would do them right if they add a bear decal instead of the typical BU. Give us some sort of flair, some pizzazz, a roaring bear, or at least a claw with some scratches on the helmet or something. The white kind of reminds me of this new whiteout Green Bay Packer uniform that we got, and the other ones in this set just really don't stand out to me. But again, it's cool. It's not bad, but it's all right. Boise State always has a special place in my memory bank. Who could forget the infamous blue turf field or the Statue of the Liberty play? I can't even seem to forget the game that they beat Tyrod Taylor and my Virginia Tech Hokies in that season opener that one year. Still hurts. And they've never slacked in the uniform department. This year's edition sort of reminds me of the Denver Broncos. I do like the array of options that they got because they can just have it with the uniform combos. I mean, they got the blue top with the blue pants, or they can put the orange top with the blue or the white with the orange. Y'all get it, right? So that gives them a plus in my book. I love variety. Now, the helmets with the Bronco headpiece have always stood out to me. And then this new one here, the Broncos script, is a new one. And at least for me, I love it. It's a change up from the typical norm, which has been that Bronco head, and it's been that for a little while now. And so I'm not that high on this uniform at all. The rest of this rollout, to be honest with you, it looks pretty identical to what they've been wearing for years. So either I'm tripping or I'm missing something, but I'm just like, why did y'all feel the need to announce this? Y'all could have just announced the Bronco script helmet and called it a day. Then we have BYU, who pays homage to 100 years of football with this uniform design. And it's very clean, sort of plain. A little too plain to my liking, but then again, it's BYU, and their whole set has always been on the traditional side. I don't know what it is, but I feel like college teams are supposed to be a little bit more fun, a little bit more experimental. Some schools, it does work, the traditional look, but BYU, come on, man. Try a little something different. Now, with these, I do like the drop shadow effect on the Y and the stripes, and I do even like that the Y is above the stripes on the sleeve. It's a nice touch. The blue face mask pairs nicely on the white glossy helmet, which I'm glad that they stuck with that and didn't try to get a little too fancy, because I know teams like to throw in chrome or matte, and it's like, no, keep it glossy, keep it classy. And it's just that. Also, with this shade of blue, it's way more vibrant than their typical blue, and I love that as well. It's very refreshing, and at the end of the day, you can't go wrong with vibrant colors. Not to mention, it's pretty hard to screw up the white and blue colorway. So BYU gets cool points for this throwback uniform, and I feel like they'll be high on this list. The California Golden Bears went with a classic look for this year's lineup, and it looks just like that. They're not trying to do too much. There's enough variation to go around for the season with the gold pants, the navy pants, the white pants, and obviously they have matching tops to go with those, and then they can mix and match however they feel. They also have the typical navy helmet with the California script up there, and then they got the yellow golden sea helmet, which is my personal favorite of the bunch. I do wish that they had a white helmet with the navy blue script on it. For some reason, I do recall in my memory, y'all can tell me if I'm wrong, but I do recall in my memory that they did something like that maybe a couple of years ago, where they had a white base helmet and the Cal script was in navy blue. Maybe I'm wrong, but y'all let me know. But I wish that they would just continue to have that, because I think that that would look very good with this entire uniform set, especially the white on white. But I'll take these. I like how they threw the California Bear on the front bumper of the helmet. And you can't hate on these at all. It's not too much, it's not too little, it's just right in my eyes. We got the Illinois Boilermakers. They added 3 new helmets to their slate, and then they stepped it up with a throwback look that gives them an edge in this year's uniform rankings edition. I mean, if you're going to go retro, then this is how you do it, in my Montel Jordan voice, because I love these a lot. Sucks that we're only going to get these on one game, which will be October 9th, but other than that, these are A1. I mean, look at the full set. Everything is complimentary. You don't have different pieces from different eras like some professional teams tried to do, New York Giants, but you kept everything solid from that era, even down to the helmet, which I'm still amazed at how they pulled this off. Some may not like it. They'll call them ugly, call it too much, but I truly feel like if you're going to go that route, then you have to go all the way. And this is going all the way. One thing I don't like, though, is the material on the stripes of the jersey. But that's whatever. I just don't like the personal fit of it. It makes the players look like they all have guts or something's going on. It's just something tacky or freaky with it. But I do like their other new helmets for this season. They're going back to the Illinois word mark on the side of the helmet, and instead of that plain and egregious capital I that was up there last year. So kudos to Illinois. Iowa State got a whole new look, and I'm here for the rebrand. It got a Kansas City Chiefs vibe to it. They also have multiple sets for different options. Y'all know, again, I love variety. And the blackout edition is a very nice touch, and the whiteout edition as well. But that was my first thought. But upon further review, the whiteout edition is a tad bit too plain, and it also leaves much to be desired. It's just black and white, and that just doesn't fit their brand well. They could have and should have added at least some accent color. Give us a red, give us a yellow, or stay true to your branding. But instead, they wanted to go completely off the mark and just give us a white and black thing that if you don't even know or you're not paying much attention, you wouldn't even know that it's Iowa State. So not very good in my book what they did with that one. Then we have the Liberty Flames, who got a new uniform look, and they are flaming fire. This is what I'm talking about when I say modernizing the coloring. They got the colors that just go well together, and the script is perfect. Everything in this pops. It's a cool shade of colors, and that's what I like on any color palette. I know I'm saying colored a lot, but stick with me. You see, I'm a very cool type of person, okay? And I love when teams do that, when they give us colors that remind us of a refreshing beverage. Because it's hot enough on game day. Don't double it up with a hot looking uniform. But seriously, bro, these are nice, man. I'm happy for Liberty because if I were a player, I'd be hyped to put these on. Now, when I first saw these, I said to myself, why didn't they do a light blue? But hold up, wait a minute. I saw this. And it was as if they were talking to me. Now, I know they weren't, but it's still cool that they listened to the feedback from the fans and did the right thing. So that garners them cool points, A+ in my book. Shout out to Liberty. You got the Louisiana Raging Cajuns. The Louisiana State border on the helmet is nice. I'm a fan of the black uniforms more so than the white, and they stay true to the Louisiana culture by adding that Mardi Gras emblem on the sleeve. So it's cool. And I say it like that because it's right there in the middle of the pack. It's not all that, and it isn't bad either. The Miami Hurricanes are also one of those schools that can do no harm in my book, uniform-wise. I do wish that they get back together and get their program to where it was and stop choking in a lot of these games when they have so much expectations, and also learn to take a damn knee. But anyway, as I stated with certain schools, their standard uniform set is enough and it does them justice year after year. But however, that does not mean my interest isn't piqued to some degree when I see them flirt with uniform changes from time to time. They've done the green helmets. I've even seen them do a chrome orange helmet, which I kind of like, but then again, it kind of looked a little tacky. And then this year, they are breaking out the black jerseys, pants, and a black helmet to match. I want y'all to give me some feedback. Did they do this before? I feel like they did, but maybe I'm tripping. Now, outside of that, this is the true definition of blackout. Not changing much, only swapping colors for black. I may be a little biased, but it's just done right here. All of the trademark features are still intact. No, they didn't try to black out the U logo or do something weird. They just added black to their staple look, and it's added some flair. So I like it. I do wish, however, that the black was a shade or two darker. But maybe that's just me being picky. And besides, that could just be the photos that we have of these joints. And when they get on the field, it's actually going to look jet black. And in that case, I'll rank them higher. But right now, based off of these pictures, I have some qualms about it, but it is what it is. The Minnesota Gophers are adding a few different looks to their uniform lineup, and I'm here for it. I think these are pretty dope and very pretty, especially given what they have to work with. This colorway is a mother trucker. You understand me? It's hard to work with that burgundy and this shade of yellow/gold because it's right there in the middle and they really don't know what the hell they want to do with the gold. But we got the burgundy matte helmet with the pretty gloss stripe, which provides some nice contrast. And this stripe, it has some semblance to wood because it just has that texture or whatever these streaks or this grain that is in the stripe. And it reminds you or puts you in the mindset of earthiness. You know, it symbolizes nature to some degree. I can't put my finger on it, but it just looks like wood and it's just representative of that. And I mean, hey, their name is the Gophers. I think they did a good job with these. North Texas, mean green. I don't know if this is just a case of them not having as much publicity, but my imposter senses are tingling with this uniform. I'm not gonna lie to you. The wings on the helmet look like a knockoff version of Oregon Ducks helmet. It looks like something that you could have bought off of Wish or Temu. And this green is just too light and it's too nice looking. Like, if I'm the opposing team and I see these coming out the tunnel, I'm salivating at the mouth because these just look soft and they look like they're gonna be good targets for hitting. I can't take these serious. And they had the nerve to call themselves mean green. Please, not with these uniforms. Now, I do like the green helmet, the Kelly green helmet. I think it can work. But other than that, the uniform, this white helmet, and these fake ass Oregon Duck wings, they gotta go. Notre Dame is one of those schools that's so historic and consistent with their uniforms that when they do any type of change, it demands attention. And these new Shamrock Series uniforms are, let me say, very eye-catching. Inspired by a published 1924 article by Grantland Rice titled The Four Horsemen, they say that the color of these joints are in direct homage to the opening line, which read, "Outlined against a blue-gray October sky, the four horsemen rode again." Now, y'all can read the rest, but these are true to the description. Blue-gray hue dripping from top to bottom on their uniform and decorated by the gold numbers and brand patches that might blind you if the sun hits it right. It's that shiny. And it got like that Gothic-esque type of layout or format to it. So it's pretty cool. And obviously they come with their trademark gold helmet and a gray face mask. But these are dope and very clean. And the fact that they paired these up with an actual storyline makes these even better. Now, is there a rare ability for fans with these jerseys? Not really, unless you want to look like a damn leprechaun yourself. The extra gold is cool. It's just a little too much for a fan to be wearing to a game if you aren't playing it, and Lord forbid you wearing it anywhere other than a game. And if you do, just point me to the rainbow so I can find the pot of gold. These jerseys were made specifically for football, and that's okay, but not for fans to be wearing. You'll look like a damn fool. Moving on. The Oklahoma Sooners are getting some much needed newness in their life. They're going with their throwback look with the white helmet and the new jerseys, which were really throwbacks. And they do have the stripes on the sleeve. And upon looking at them, they're classy, but a little boring. And that's all I can say. It's a good look. It's not stretching the boundaries of what they could have done, but it works for them. But by default, that's going to put them a little low with the final ranking because I need them to come out from the other side of the time machine and do something modern. I know that they've flirted with a couple of different looks. I think that they've given us a black helmet with the red and it was chrome and it was nice, but it's like, yo, build on that. Stop giving us these old 1937, 45 looks. Like, give us something new. Give the fans something new, something fresh. Then we got Ole Miss. The Ole Miss Rebels, who have been changing uniforms and adding to their set, it seems, every season for the last few years. And they don't plan on stopping anytime soon. They unveiled their new uniform, which is obviously white, but they also lightened up the blue to go with the look, which gives us a settling color combo, and it looks very good with their branding. I absolutely love it when the teams go with powder blue and they pair that up with a red and a white. Come on, bro. It's like, how cleaner can you get? Love the glossy helmet. Love the red font on the front bumper. This is nice. I'm drooling looking at it. I mean, you can go crazy with the accessories. I'm just thinking of being a player in these. Like with this, think about what you can pair this up with the cleats or the gloves. And I'd be lying if I said I don't want to play in these. I want to get suited and booted right now. Send me out there on the field. I'll run me a little jet screen option real quick. honestly, these are hard. It's established, colorful, and vibrant, but not in a corny way. And in my book, this is beating some professional teams and able to stand the test with some of the best professional uniforms. They are that good. I'm telling you, I'm over here drooling looking at these. Of course, what is a uniform ranking video without Oregon? What's new? Oregon always reserves a spot in the yearly uniform discussion, and they make so many uniform changes that we could argue they have a new uniform combo for every day of the week. Like, do they ever wear the same uniform combo in back-to-back games? Somebody let me know that in the comments. If so, when was the last time? I'm truly curious, like for real. But these black uniforms are dope as hell because the features that they have on them, it has this chain-like look on the collar that puts you in the mindset of steel or metal. And then even inside the numbers, it has like that metal netting. Then you got the black helmet with the silver wings and metallic looking wings. I like that. You know, I wish that they could have paired this up with the green visor that they have in this picture, because if they could, that would be hard body, like a green Power Ranger or something. But it looks very intimidating. I mean, black uniforms already give you that edge, but these and the way that they're constructed only make it more so intimidating. Like, these boys mean business. Now, these are my favorite. I'm not gonna lie, because these take you back to the days of the original Oregon Ducks. The Ducks with Joey Harrington, who once graced the cover of NCAA Football 2003, if I'm not mistaken. Or it may have been 2004, one of those. But it was cool then, and it's even cooler now. And I think that they even added a modern look to these. And this works, bro. This really works. The yellow, beautiful. And it looks like a piece of candy. My mouth is watering just looking at this. Or maybe I'm just hungry. I was drooling over Ole Miss. My mouth watering over these Oregon helmets like I'm looking at a pack of lemon heads or yellow Skittles. Give me 1 second. But I love the fact that they're taking it back to the roots. They got that Donald Duck on the sleeve. That's what I like to call it anyway. And again, these are just iconic. And it passes the wearability test. See, these are not like the Notre Dame jerseys. In the right situation, you can wear these. Hell, I wouldn't be opposed to owning one of these jerseys myself. Oregon State has always had cool uniforms, but I feel like they fly under the radar a lot. Not much national coverage around them and not too many star players, but who cares? These uniforms look polished and ready to go. I love the different color sets they went with these. The orange and the black, a no-brainer. But the charcoal and white are some of my personal favorites from this set, because it's just very clean and it's just very straightforward. I mean, the chrome on the orange helmet is beautiful. And I love how they maintain that beaver head logo instead of just going back to the script, or even worse, an abbreviated word mark like OSU. That's boring. And I love this beaver. This beaver is not over the top and it's not boring. It has like a dynamic to it. You know, it looks up to par. It looks like it could be, you could drop this team in this uniform in the NFL and you wouldn't bat an eye. And that's what I like about these. So you can fit them anywhere, and I'm going to fit them somewhere real good on this ranking. Purdue added some flair and pizzazz to their set. I'm lying. I may be the only one, but I don't really rock with black and gold like that. Like, unless you do something that's breathtaking. And this is far from breathtaking. The gold on the helmet and the pants don't match, which is a bummer because it probably would have did something good for this uniform. It would have gave it what it needed. But it's just very boring, especially given what other schools are doing nowadays. It's like, bruh, step out again. They're another team like Oklahoma. Step away from the mid-1900s and let's get into some of these modern looks. Like, give us something that's going to give us some oomph, okay? Give us, even if your colors are black and gold, you can still do a lot with that, with just all the other details, the patches, the stripes. But this is just the same thing that it looks like we could have gotten back in 2008, and I'm not a fan. Who? The Rice Owls are getting a makeover, so some may say, who is this? It's a good look, seriously, and all the colors I like. The gray pants and the silver helmet kind of reminds me of Kansas State. However, I'm not the biggest fan of the large Rice word mark that goes across the chest because it pushes the numbers down a little too low. Like, why are the numbers touching the waistline? TCU did what I hoped they wouldn't do, and they dropped the ball. They arguably had one of the coolest uniform sets, which is key and necessary when you have a cool mascot like the Horned Frog. But I don't know why they wanted to go with this new ballerina look. No stripes on the jerseys or pants, no patches, literally nothing. The only plus is the chrome helmets, but even those don't rescue the full uniform from my disappointment. Who thought of this? And why? I'll say it again. Why? I'll say it one more time. Why did they leave this for this? Come on, man. Tennessee, oh, Tennessee, has to be one, if not the hardest uniform out this season. They said, no, we're too creative for a whiteout. They've already toyed with the blackout. So they hit it smack dab in the middle and gave us smoking gray. And I have to say, it's smoking. With their shade of orange, it's not like they can screw this up easily, but they strayed away from that altogether and gave us this beauty. The first ever home uniform to have Tennessee across the chest. The tri-star patch. They got the Great Smoky Mountain pattern in the helmet. Also the stars to honor the state flag and the tri-state patch on the pants as well. Talk about details, details, details. This one is going to hit different, and I can't wait to see these in the game. Texas Tech got a new uniform set, and they ran with the slogan, inspired by the past, built for the future, and that's what they're saying about these. And these are just okay. Not highly impressive. It's a safe and standard look that I feel a high school in a good neighborhood could pull off. So, moving on. The Golden Hurricanes of Tulsa got some new drip this season, and it's dripping into the land of forgetfulness. Now, maybe this is just me, but I'm not a huge fan of their uniform set at all. I don't like the colors. I don't like the layout of it. I don't like anything about this. This is just boring. It's whack. It's lame. And I'm going to tell y'all why. See, I'm originally from the 757. That's Hampton, Virginia, Newport News, all that area, right? If you know about that. Now, I went to Phoebus and Hampton High, and these uniforms look a little too spot on with the Phoebus Phantoms uniforms, minus the script on the helmet. And that's not a good look. I'm not saying that in a good way, you know, and that's no disrespect to the high school or none of that stuff. It's just, if you're a collegiate football team and you're looking too spot on with a high school team, then there needs to be some changes made. Something needs to be done. Change the color or do something creative. But I'm cool off of Tulsa. UAB. Now you know I'm about to get on y'all head. I know I may catch some slack, and I don't care. Kiss my ass, so what? These are butt ass ugly. Matter of fact, oogly. Like the oogly monster that's supposed to be a dragon on the side of their helmet. The mixtures of greens, neons, and faded grays make me want to puke green like the Exorcist girl. And the whole it's like, no, why would you do this? It looks very kiddie, first of all. It reminds me of like a sea moss or something that came out of a swamp, like the creature from the Green Lagoon. But these are just out, bruh. Then they got that big ass UAB on the chest. What is this for? I'm guessing the UAB stands for ugly and bad, because these are just that. Looking like something that somebody made on the Team Builder app. Get out of here. ULM scored some cool points with me on their new helmets. It's typically a throwback, but it's revamped. The Warhawk is in full effect with the fighter plane look on it, and the coloring is distributed perfectly, precisely. They made the update with the gold edition, and I must say, these are nice, and they blow the old ones out the water. I believe the old ones were just a plain red and white, but these with that gold, mwah, nice. If they play better on the field, I'd arguably put them high on my list, but these are so good, they deserve that spot anyway. That's how much I like these for what they're working with, because I know that the budget isn't exactly busting, but they did their thing on these. Now I'm going to say this in all seriousness. Somebody, anybody who happens to be the helmet plug or have any of those connections, I need this in my collection today. I need this in my life. These are nice, perfect, and I need to see these on my wall and walk by them and touch them and all that good stuff. So holla at me. I'm dead serious too. Holla at me. UVA or should I say the Virginia Cavaliers, have been the little brother to Virginia Tech for as long as I can remember. They need any and everything to get in people's mentions because they just don't got the juice like that. But anyway, they also joined the Uniform Brigade this season, and just like their program every year, it's a big disappointment. Not only did they just give us a slightly different version of their typical uniforms every year, they gave us the colors. But these uniforms look like practice uniforms. The front face of the uniform is so plain. I can't put my finger on it, but it's definitely missing something, like a patch or an extra stripe somewhere. Maybe they would even benefit from a Cavaliers word mark across the chest, even when that's one of my no-nos. But still, we got nothing, and it makes these joints look bad. Especially these orange uniforms, which looks more like prison jumpsuits. And these two-tone stripes on the helmet look tacky and outdated. I don't know who came up with this idea, but they need to go back to the drawing board as well. Maybe that's why they never played good, because they don't look good. And for sure don't feel good putting these on. Imagine looking at yourself in the mirror with these. These scream, we suck. And we just out here so we don't get fired. Aye, 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 aye. Virginia Tech is making a subtle change to their uniforms this year. As a fan, I'm sort of disappointed because I was hoping they'd give us something more to look forward to. But then again, I know them to pop out with a surprise here and there during the season. So I'm going to keep my eyes out there looking, and I'm going to keep my hopes up. But these are cool for what it is, I guess. We got the typical slate that we always get from the Hokie Ball Club. But the difference is the subtle texture inside the numbers. We got that brick-like texture inside, and it really doesn't make sense. What inspired this? Is this from the wall of Lane Stadium? I don't know. But it's kind of random and almost like they said we have to save face and do something. And then I go down, look at the pants, and I'm like, the Hokies word mark on the hip. Do something different. Put the turkey head on there instead. Or as a matter of fact, I think that they can use the turkey a lot more. Put the head on the helmet or give us a silhouette of the turkey. But again, maybe that's just me. Maybe everybody loves the VT and it goes back to all the history. But I'm just like, y'all can mix and match and throw some different things out there. Like for real, for real. Wake Forest did their thing. Not really impressed with them. West Virginia, always polished and they never disappoint. They stay true to their roots and they give us the blue tops on yellow, yellow on blue, and then they even give us this all white option. I love the matte helmets and the variety that they bring to the table. But then they have this blackout uniform that looks, shall I say, pretty intimidating. I like it. They got away with the typical gold and blue coloring, and they stuck with this black and metallic silver for this combo, and it kind of gives you those Las Vegas Raiders vibes. And this is cool. You know, it's very cool for them. It's very different, and I love to see that they jumped out of their norm. But it's cool. Wyoming presented a new alternate gold jersey, which was the letter mark Wyoming and script across the chest. I usually hate the color combo of yellow and brown. It's a very hot-ass colorway, and it makes me think of old cowboy movies. But it works for their brand, and I respect that. Maybe that's what they were going for. I love the white helmet on these. I'm glad they didn't try to double down on the brown and the yellow and make the helmet one of those colors too. Ultimately, it's a cool change up. I'm not hating on it. I like the mountains on the sleeve, and again, it's just very up to par and on branding for them. As I'm looking at it, kind of makes me want to go grab a cowboy hat, stick a piece of straw between my teeth, and chop some wood or something. And speaking of chopping wood, it's time we put these teams on the chopping block and in the rankings of all the uniforms. I'm almost out of breath covering them all because this is a lot. Way more than the NFL, I say that. Now, remember, this is from worst to best, so just keep that in mind. But the first team I got is UAB. Mixing neon with green is just an eyesore. You can't get away with it. Then next I got Virginia. No prison jumpsuits over here. We ain't doing that. Then we got North Texas and their impersonation act of the Oregon Ducks. Followed by them, we got Oklahoma. Two born. They need to spice it up. I got Purdue. Two-tone born. Stuck in the mid-1900s. We got Tulsa. Then I got Rice. Appalachian State come after them. And then we got Iowa State. Wake Forest. Texas Tech. TCU, who dropped a massive ball to just keep their regular uniforms that they had when they went to that national championship game. Virginia Tech, Boise State, Louisiana Raging Cajuns, and Wyoming. Then after all of them, we got the Baylor Bears. I got BYU coming in with their throwback uniform. Notre Dame with those blue sky uniforms and that gothic gold lettering. Still got my eyes hurting from seeing that shine. Minnesota, Miami Hurricanes, the Cal Bears, Arizona Wildcats off the helmet alone, Illinois, West Virginia, only because of that black alternate. We got Liberty and Air Force. Now, we're going to go into my top 5. I got Oregon. They're going to be in the top 5 because of how well they do their uniform changes, but it's so expected, and I can't explain it, but it's cool though. So we got Oregon. Then I'm going to put ULM at the 4th spot. That helmet just looks too cool. And again, I need that. I want that. You feel me? After them on the 3rd spot, I got Tennessee with that beautiful smoking gray. And then I got Oregon State. And for my number 1 spot in this year's college edition of the rankings for 2024, I got Ole Miss, who are super clean, polished, and established. So that's it, folks. Y'all hear it, y'all see it. Shout out to all the schools that had great rollouts for these uniforms, man. Unlike the NFL, I know that they are sometimes working with limited budgets, limited resources, limited staff, and all of that stuff. Not all the time, because I know that there's some schools out there that got that bank. But a lot of them are still working with what they're working with, and they did a phenomenal job this year. So hand claps and kudos to them. What uniforms are y'all feeling the most? Was my top 5 justified? Is my number 1 spot right? I'm sure a lot of you all got different opinions or similar ones, and I'd like to hear them all. If you enjoyed this breakdown of all the uniforms and enjoyed this video, then hit that like button one time for me. Also, consider subscribing if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification so you never miss a video while I cover the NFL, all things football, and all this shit. Thank y'all for watching, man. My name is Vinny. I'm known by many, and this is Deep in the Field, where you know we keeps it real. And just like the college football season, I'm going to be back real soon. Peace. Deep in the field, yeah, you know deep in the field. Deep in the field, yeah, gotta keep it real. Deep in the field, so deep in the field, yeah, I gotta keep it real.